What's good, everybody? You know what time it is. It's time for Elevated Vibes right here on IntellectualRadio.com, our iHeart radio station. All right, everybody, now check it out. We've had so much different things going on that we're not just going to talk about one subject, not just one thing. We're going to touch on a few different ones, you know. And so if you forgot who we are, we're going to break it down for you. This is Mr. Timothy Evans.
Peace.
And I am your boy Abdul Rashid. So let's get into it, everybody. And by the way, if you want to get in this conversation, the number to call is 708-223-8953. Once again, that number is 708-223-8953. Or you can hit us up on Facebook Live. All right, everybody. Like I said, check it out. Got all these things going on. So we're going to touch on some of the noisemakers. Now, this first person we're going to talk about is a person with a lot. He makes noise from North Carolina to California to back here to Illinois and back to North Carolina again. Mm-hmm. Some of his issues, he deserved what is coming to him. And I hate to put it like that, but it is what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about Republican governor nominee, Lieutenant Governor of North Carolina, loudmouth himself, Mr. Mark Robinson. You want to start that off, bro? You want me to go in?
Well, I can start it off a little bit.
All right, come on. Talk about Mr. Loudmouth himself.
Yeah. So this internationally known, I'm sure by now,
I pray.
Hypocrite.
Yeah. That he is.
All right. Ahead, so he got caught making some racist.
Oh yeah.
Misogynistic.
Yes.
And also pornographic.
Yeah, a lot of
statements online. Was it 10 years ago?
Yeah, it was somewhere on that level.
So yeah, he got busted, and when he got busted, he tried to double down and say it wasn't him.
And that's the thing. Why couldn't he just man up? I mean, we all have our faults. You know what I mean?
Some worse than others.
Yeah. Yeah. And then half the time with our faults, a lot of us, we don't try to tear down or, ridicule the rest of the world for the same thing that we doing. Well, some folks don't do it, but go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, dude, if CNN has enough information on you to bring it up on the news, you pretty much busted. They got you 100% caught. Yeah. So there's no denying, even though the Republicans are saying, "Oh, we need to see if anything, and any tampering with his identification." It's none of that going on.
He won't even accept it. It was a third party that they were going to go ahead and investigate everything to see if it was somebody else that did it and try to put his name on it and all that. He rejected them.
Oh,
he rejected the third party that was going to actually somewhat try to, help him clear his name. Why are you rejecting him? Why are you telling them no?
Yeah, I think that third party would have been wasting their time because, I mean, the information that they had on him, this guy, whoever set him up, who he has in his mind to set him up, would have to have known that he was going to be a lieutenant governor 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. Back in the past, he would have had to know future events,
right,
for this to make sense with whatever he's trying to spin here,
right?
And he would also have to have access to his Facebook account, his email accounts, his password, his it's just too much. You know what I mean?
Right. I agree.
The fact. What's funny is that the Republicans are actually playing along, like, oh yeah, we need to We need to hold
Well,
on.
yeah, he still has a little bit of it, of those that's trying to help him. Some of them are running from him, though.
No, I mean the politicians.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
The politicians are running from him.
Yeah.
Though. They're
Yeah.
like, I ain't trying to mess with you
Yeah,
right
because they
now.
know it's crazy. You can't defend yourself at that point.
Yeah, and the thing is, for the orange disease of this country, I'm not even going to mention his name. To call him MLK on steroids. Really? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous.
like I said, I mean, we all have our issues. All right. But one thing I do believe, even though you and I were born after, MLK's passing, but I do believe everything that I've heard, read, and understood about Dr. King, that whatever issue, he would man up and come to it. He would say, hey, yeah, okay, that was me back then, blase skid, blah, blah, blah. Now let's move on. This man can't even do that.
Yeah, well, to be fair, he had to come back from quite a long way. You know what I mean? I don't know if most people would take that, that far to come back from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He had a far. I don't think his political career could survive him coming back from that far.
Yeah.
Even if he apologized, I don't think so.
But at least you will still hold some respect. You will still hold some respect from whoever would respect you. I mean, this is the same man that talked about he wished slavery would come back. I'm sorry. That's what he said.
Yeah.
And he had admiration from what I've read of Hitler and his book Mein Kampf, if I'm saying it correctly. I always screw it up when I'm trying to say it. Come on now, man.
Yeah. Apparently he doesn't know what Nazi means.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Nazis would have killed him on sight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No doubt.
So saying that he wishes he was or he could be a black Nazi, that's just ridiculous. Nazis hated black people.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So this guy has to be somebody who hated himself on some level.
Well, he has to have some type of self-hate issues or whatever. I don't care how much he may know the Bible in and out, but the act how you act, and I don't even care if it's an act to get a position. You only go so far. You understand what I'm saying? To where you're like, even I can't even say this or do this or any of that. And that man, he passed those boundaries a long time ago.
That's why most of the time, these black Republicans immediately they raise a red flag for me because they on stage taking smack after smack after smack. Donald Trump is smacking them in the back of the head, smacking them in their face, and they stand right next to him and they smile.
Yeah.
And and
AKA
I'm like,
Tim Scott, but go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Ben Carson, all of them. I mean, they just stand there and smile.
Right.
And I'm like, how could they, take that?
I agree. And the fact, a lot of them will come back and say, well, they'll go to the time of Lincoln. Okay. It was a different time, different party and everything else. And yeah, we can go on that and talk about some things that the Democrats didn't do right, which it wouldn't be a lie. Okay. But these same Republicans are going to do you so dirty that it's like, what would you rather have? The guy hitting you the back of the head with the shovel or, maybe a belt. I don't know, something lighter. I'm gonna be nice,
Yeah. It's I don't know. These guys, these black Republicans are really crazy. I mean, they get to a point where they put so much negativity out there. It doesn't even make sense. They don't even like they don't even feel like they're telling the truth at one point, you know. They and it's like they know they're being used and they just keep on going along with it. I don't understand how
So
they
they're
can
around
do
like Aaron Neville. Keep on using me
it. Yeah.
till you use me up.
Yeah.
And good song. But anyhow,
So you think he's gonna win?
who?
Now I heard he was down pretty much.
Yeah. If he wins, then I will have to ask my North Carolina people, like, why? You know, you have to just why? Really?
Now talking about the voters though, they interviewed a lot of voters after this scandal came out,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of North Carolina Republicans, they follow the same line as the politicians. You know, they say, "Oh yeah, we got to wait until it all pans out and see if he's innocent or guilty." And then a reporter would say, "Okay, well, what happens if he is guilty? Are you still going to vote for him?"
Right.
And they say, "Yeah, probably so."
I just don't get it.
Yeah,
I really don't. I mean, sometimes it's blatant wrong right in front of your face, and they turn a blind eye to it.
right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and I think everybody as human beings have common sense. All right, they know right from wrong,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to think, why have some of these people shut that common thing off, that that God-given ability that you were born with? Because as outlandish as this man is, and he is, to even add on his wrongdoing, but then yet y'all accept that.
Right. Right.
Come on.
I think it's because they all believe in the same philosophy, right?
Mm-hmm.
We got to get power by any means necessary, right? No matter if we tell the truth, if it's a lie, as long as we have power, it doesn't matter.
Mm.
Like the means justify the ends, right? Or
Yeah.
the other way around.
Yeah,
The ends justify the means, right?
Right, exactly.
And you can just see it in you know you can tell them blatant facts,
Mm-hmm.
and they just it doesn't matter. Even I'm surprised that the Christians down there, that they go along with it also. Even like the pastors, the ministers, the whole congregation. I mean, they go along with the same program.
Yeah.
You would think that somebody in the congregation would be like, we are actually lying all the time. But I don't know if they don't see it, but it's
They just don't choose to see it. And the question is, why don't you choose to see the truth?
right.
Yeah.
Even when somebody's telling you,
But yeah.
right?
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
Now let's step on something of choosing to see the truth and acted upon it. All right. There was something that, I know you probably came across it within the past few days, and a lot of y'all probably have too. And the guy was just unfortunately executed yesterday. Marcellus Williams out of Missouri. Now, to go back on what this case was, everybody, all right, Marcellus Williams was convicted for murder, supposedly, of a reporter
Felicia
back
Gale.
in
Felicia Gale.
right,
Yeah.
Felicia Gale, back in 1998. Now, through everything, it was proven that it seems like this man had literally nothing at all to do with this. And it was even brought before the Supreme Court. It was brought before the Republican governor of Missouri. And none of them, they refused to see the truth. They refused to act upon the truth that this man did not deserve to die. Technically, the man probably did not deserve to even be in jail.
Mm.
But yet, they killed him anyway. So tell me your thoughts on it, bro.
Well, it's definitely in this case, it's a lack of professionalism. I heard that. Well, I read that the DNA that they used as evidence was contaminated
Yes.
by one of the prosecutors and an investigator.
Yeah, even one of the prosecutors was trying his best to make sure that this man did not catch the death sentence.
Right,
You know,
right,
even one of them.
right. Because I mean, it just it didn't fit. Right.
Right.
Also, the victim's family was against the execution,
Yes.
and the prosecution was against the
Right.
the execution.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
So they felt that pushing for the execution.
Well, they denied it. The governor,
At the
his name is Mike Parson,
yeah,
and if I'm
it was-
correct, the Missouri Supreme Court.
right,
And they kept pushing forward and kept it on the books to do it and so forth, even though all these things was proven that it's suspect that this man did what was done to the young lady, and not just throwing away her life or any of that sort. Because when you say something like that, people think, oh, you just don't care about the victim. No, we care about the victim. It's just the fact that if this man did not do it, or if it looks like he did not do it, he does not deserve to die.
hmm
You know,
yeah.
and
And, I mean, how many times have we heard of people being railroaded and pressured into pleading guilty when they haven't been pleading guilty?
yeah,
Thinking they're going to get a lighter sentence.
right. I mean, it was even said that this man's ex-girlfriend was paid to say some of the things that she said to get him convicted.
Right.
You know,
Yeah. So yeah, and I think he was in jail for a robbery.
yeah. I mean, that's what it's supposed to be, a botched robbery.
hmm
And I think she was stabbed something like, I want to say 48 times or something of that sort. But the thing is too, you have all this showing that it's a good possibility it was not him, and then you have the prosecutor. You have it was literally 69 leaders of the three major faiths that we all know, Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, was begging the governor of that state to not to execute this man.
Right. Right.
And because it seems like they want to be on the same old, and I hate to put it like this, everybody, but yes, this is an African American man, and the victim was a white woman. So, a lot of times, how it used to be back in the day, if you were of a certain skin color and if it looked like you did it, we're gonna make sure that you pay for it.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, we can go down the line with Rosewood, Tulsa, you name it. Even the riots that were here in Chicago back in the day.
hmm
So
And even the way they set up the trial, the jury was majority white.
yeah,
You
they
know.
they kicked out a number of African Americans, and they only left one.
Right.
Only left one. I want to say it was like maybe 5 or 6. I know I'm close. And if any of you all know, definitely hit us up so we can have the correct information of that. But they kicked out all of them except for one.
Mm. Yep. And that's definitely common. If they feel that it might be some other verdict that they don't want, they will make sure that they get the verdict that they want by picking the jury that most align with what they want to do. You know.
Yes, yes,
So yeah, I mean the defense definitely had a problem the way that the jury was rigged. So he really didn't have a chance.
no, not it.
And
Not at all.
that goes with a lot of people. I mean, once they pressure you, right? If they have you in a bad situation and they pressure you to plead guilty, and they say, "Oh, you would just get life in prison. Even if you didn't do it, you would assume, maybe in the future they would get evidence that I didn't do it. So I won't be doing life in prison, actually. I'll just be doing time until they find out the truth.
Yes.
Right. And they pressure you to say, okay, I'm guilty, and then they came up with an agreement, and then they changed it because they didn't accept it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I believe, and I hope that the people of Missouri do this because they were, they're going to abolish the death penalty in that state. In which, personally, I mean, unless you do something atrocious, I'm gonna say you blow up a building or whatever. Well, then, and it's proven that was you. Well, hey, what happens happens. You know what I'm saying? When it's something on that level, but if you didn't have no proof of any of this and no real solid proof, then I do personally feel that those who accepted within that Supreme Court, that governor, and those on that level down the line, they will definitely come up on the wrong side of history, and they will get their just dues, even though, hey, it might not be in this world.
So, do you believe in the death penalty?
Personally, unless it's something so atrocious, no, I don't. If it's something like I said, really that, like, okay, the Oklahoma City bomber, he got the death penalty if I remember correctly. Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, sometimes it's hard to feel sorry for somebody that does something on that level.
Can't do that,
Yeah.
But if it's not proven of some of these things and so forth, and there's any doubt in it, which it was a whole pile of it. And once again, I am nowhere near taking away from the victim. Nowhere near taking away from the victim, because whoever really did this, they should, face the music.
Right.
Let's keep it real. But like I said, if it's that doubt, then no. And then in that case, let's abolish it. Unless it's under extreme means.
Yeah, I wish I could be more high-minded. But yeah, I'm like, okay, if somebody did something so atrocious that it's no rehabilitating, that guy would just linger in prison for the rest of their life,
right?
And they know he did it. I definitely, yeah, you can go ahead and
do what you got to do.
Get rid of this guy. I mean, he no benefit to society.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. And then so I do believe that it should be overall, not just state by state, but overall change in the laws on some of these things that are out here, because it's just not, it's too many loopholes. It's too many.
It's inconsistent too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Somebody can do something in one area and it's same thing, different sentences.
Yeah.
This person get 1 year, this person gets 6 months.
Right.
It could be in the same state. Right. It don't have to be downstate and upstate. It can be in the same state. And they get 2 different sentences. Just depend on who the judge is. So yeah.
All right, give me something, bro. Talk to me. Some of this craziness that's out here. Bring it to us. What you got?
How about the Lauren?
Loomer?
Yeah, Laura Loomer. What do you think about that? So, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You about to say?
So yeah, she's a big time racist. She's been saying racist things for years on the internet, right? And now she's just rolling around with Donald Trump and his entourage, and I haven't heard of they've been saying a little, but not as much as they should. Yeah. I mean, she's real racist, and Donald Trump is like got her, taking her to events and everything.
Personally, I do believe this. Trump has that habit of trying to dog out the media quick when he gets in one of his speeches, and then all of a sudden he started talking about the media. putting them down or whatever. If I were them, especially a person like Laura Loomer, I think the guy's name is, I want to say, ah, it was another
Another
one.
racist.
Yeah,
Fuentes.
it may have been him. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would, if I was the media, I would lash him with that every chance I get. Every chance. See, a lot of folks, until you read about Loomer, and yeah, they talk about Fuentes a little bit here and there, but every moment, chance, and everything. If you want to play that game, let's play the game, because he got so much messed up on his side, I will burn him to the stake.
Yeah. They don't take their opportunities to.
Right. I mean, I will get, and I know it's certain morals you should have, but you have a man with no morals. I'm sorry, he has absolutely none. Some of the stuff that now he tries to hold back and say, people have to really drill him to not say this, not say that, and blase skip. He has no morals, man. A person like that, no. He want to hit below the belt and stay below the belt.
Yeah. See,
we're gonna get nasty today.
The Democrats, they're scared to play the same games he plays, right? So the Republicans, they use their influence to try to break people apart. They try to separate every group, right? They will say something about women. They will say something about black folks. They will say something about Asians, Hindu, and they, try to Jews. They always try to bust us apart, get us fighting each other. Even the homeless against people who are paying taxes. They always try to break everybody apart, while they could stand together in this little group that they got and vote one way, right?
Right.
And that's their strength.
Right. And they're happy with the upper echelon of that group be the ones who profit, over it. Because, like you said, they'll pit homeless and this and that against everybody, and it's usually, not every time, but it's usually something to do with some Republican policies, conservative policies that made these certain things in these ways. It really is. So
they should definitely. I would reverse it. I would take each and every group, and I would say, "Listen, group, this is what they're doing to you. This is what that little group over there, these guys, they're doing to your group." And they should just focus on each group: the Jews, the black folks, the Spanish, Mexican. They should go to each individual group and have them focus on that group instead of each other. Because they, if he can divide people and like demoralize them, get them more interested in the homeless. They're not doing anything about the homeless. I'm like, okay, so who is actually doing something?
And that's the thing. He shovels all this gibberish and to push it to the level of division and hate, just like you're talking about. He shovels that, and then all it really takes is for folks of these groups and other groups to say, wait a minute, let's find out the truth.
Right.
And a lot of times the folks have been too lazy to find out the truth. They go with these stereotypes, they go with all these issues, and they run with it. AKA, and might as well bring it up. Trump and his, I'm mad because I'm getting my butt whipped at this debate. So now I'm gonna go try to say that it's a bunch of Haitians eating dogs and cats and everything else.
Right. They should, without coming out powerfully. And every time they get on the microphone, they should say, you know what? Illegal immigrants cannot vote. They cannot vote. I doubt if they even have an ID. They cannot vote. So don't worry about them, voting.
Right.
And every Democrat on the microphone, when they have these, when they're out in front of the cameras, they should say, you know what? That's a lie. Illegal immigrants cannot vote. Don't worry about that. Worry about, it's just something they can take off the board if
Well,
they keep saying that.
well, I mean, yeah, they should push that and keep pushing with the truth and bring that message uh as powerful out there as they're trying to bring the message of this division, of this hate and everything else. Like right now I just heard today that it was a group called the Haitian Bridge Alliance that is suing Donald Trump and JD Vance.
Yeah.
You know, those type of groups need to be pushed out there more where they're going to bring the truth. There's a lot of truth tellers in different groups.
Mhm.
And those same people need to sit together and bring it out to stop a lot of this,
Yeah.
and it could definitely happen. The thing is, you know, I mean, they have to be brought out. They have to push that, hey, we're coming. We're going to talk about this. We're going to bring this out. We're going to, push this envelope and so forth. Because, see, then if they see that all these different groups are pushing together for a, a truthful tone, not this mess, like I said, of the eating the household animals and all that. Now, these are the same people that is actually helping that town of Springfield, Ohio.
Hmm.
There's no proof of any of that, but that was just mess started by, if I'm hearing correctly, JD Vance, your
Well,
vice presidential pick.
well, the story is he actually got that story from a woman.
Okay.
All right. She lost her cat.
Oh, and I heard that she found it.
And she found it in the basement of her house.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So as foolish as that is,
he ran with it and he
right,
kept on perpetuating that lie.
right.
You
And so
know.
you have all these people, in that town making bomb threats, and I think they were doing a lot of vandalism to the property of some of these Haitian people and so forth.
Mhm.
You know, and there's no way in the world that even us as African Americans, we should allow that to go, to happen, to push through. But some of us, and I hate to say it, will turn around and be like, oh well, they're immigrants, and we shouldn't be doing none of that. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It should be us standing together with them. In many situations there are, but we should be standing together with them to put a stop to all this mess.
Yeah, well, it should definitely be some solidarity between what happened. Yeah,
Exactly. No
but
doubt.
you know what? The Democrats got a solidarity deficit.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Because if you look at, I think we talked about this before, maybe a while back, but
Yes, sir.
how Republicans, no matter if they're a senator, no matter if they're a governor, they will find the smallest Republican podcast and get on that podcast and talk junk, right?
Yeah.
And the Democrats, they don't do that, right?
Right.
You can't get a Biden to go on a small podcast and
Well,
talk.
maybe
Or
he needs to.
he definitely need
You
to.
know what I'm saying?
It-
Or Kamala, and I heard she's going to be talking to somebody sometime soon. I don't remember who, but maybe it needs to get more to the smaller podcast and
yeah.
so forth. Even if it's, believe it or not, it sounds goofy, but maybe a school newspaper. Even to push towards on that level.
Right. Yeah, I mean, they will go on your show if you got 3 million followers, right?
Right.
Or even a couple of million.
Right.
But the Republicans, they play a long game, right? So they will go on your show and they will boost your show just by being on there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you got a prominent Republican senator or a governor go on a show, you might have 1,000 followers to start off with, but by the end of that interview, now
Yeah.
So they are actually building up their base,
right,
by doing that.
Right. No, I totally agree. They are.
Yeah, because they're dragging people. They're dragging all their voters to the show.
Right.
And yeah, they play a long game. And what's that thing that you sent me on the text about that other project that they were working on?
Oh, I'm trying to remember that right now. I know exactly what you're talking about, sir. That's just another group, a lot like the Heritage Foundation.
Something Mountain.
Yeah, yeah. They're a lot like the Heritage Foundation, and they have agendas that they've been trying to put out here for a long time. That some of that is just coming out right now, which is
I got it.
it's
the
seven mountain mandate.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now that is wow.
Yeah.
That is commitment right there.
Yes.
Right. They have written down, this is the areas in society we want to work on. We want to work on education. We want to work on religion. And everybody got their little areas that they focus on. And they've been doing it for what? More than 50 years at this point?
So, yeah, it is. It is. And the thing is, we on the other side need to be as steadfast as them to combat them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because there's no way in the world that 7 mountain mandate, I just heard about that this week. That's when I sent it to you. There's no way in the world that should be as hidden as it is.
Yeah.
And on the fact that, just going with the Heritage Foundation and their Project 2025 and so forth, they've been working on that since the 70s.
Yeah.
And they have a whole recruitment thing and all of that is absolutely crazy. That the fact is it will be in play, and a lot of people is trying to disavow it, saying it will not. If a lot of folks look at Trump's Agenda 47 and at Project 2025, it's literally the same thing.
Yeah. I think
it's literally the same thing.
Well, he is in the project, right?
Right.
His name is mentioned in the project like
312 times.
312 times. So Trump is their guy.
Yes.
Right? They're not building this Project 2025 around nobody else.
Right.
Right. They got him in mind when they put this out there.
Right.
Agreed. But I mean, it's fascinating how you got these industries, especially like churches, right? And I think the churches are like the backbone of both the project and the
but you can't say it's all churches, because it's those ultra conservative or hardline ones.
I was researching it, and it went straight from this 7 mountain mandate.
Yes, sir.
Straight to Christian nationalists.
But that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah. It went almost straight there.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
And there might be some moderate churches, but they all get scooped up into the same system. They might not think that they are perpetuating this, but me personally, I feel like, if you're moderate, if you're extreme, you are all part of the same system. To me, like, okay, take for instance this. Okay, the Pope said something that was pretty interesting, right? He was giving a speech in I think it was Singapore.
Okay,
it was a college in Singapore, I think, and he said that there are many paths to God. I don't know if you heard this. Yeah, he said there are many paths to God. He said, no matter if you're Muslim, Sikh, Hindu, Christian, Buddhist, there are many paths. That one of his bishops had to call up and say, no, we're not doing that. Now, the Pope is supposed to be the word of God on earth with the Catholics, right? But yet, and that bishop was not the only one. It was a couple of bishops that counteracted what he said. He's supposed to be the guy that talks for God, right? In the Catholic, and they countermanded him. right?
And that's just
So
no, go ahead, go ahead.
yeah, so I mean, it's even if you are trying to um do good and you're in that system, it's kind of tough because the system won't let you do the good things. You know what I mean?
Agreed. Now, I mean, but then that also means that it's up to us. If you know what I mean, because like once again, we know common sense. We know right from wrong. However you believe. All right. Now, when you go into the level of spirituality, religion, and so forth, yes, you're supposed to follow. You know, the books of your religion are supposed to be your guidance to the many paths, just like you speak about,
Hmm.
you know, to what God wants you to do and so forth, you know. And the thing is, you see that some things are just way overboard. But that's when, and hopefully the Pope did. I don't know. I didn't know nothing about that. But hopefully the Pope pulled those same bishops to the side and like, look,
Right.
you know, hopefully he checked them. You
Yeah, I
know what
hope
I'm
so.
saying?
I would hope so. I would hope
You
so.
know, because to be on that hard of whatever it is, you know, where it may be some room for different of interpretation,
Hmm.
you know, that needs to be checked and put to a certain way because if you're on that level, you're gonna take people away,
Right.
from the belief because some people may be like, you know what, you a little too extreme. I'm not gonna mess with you, you
Right.
know. So hopefully he checked them.
Well, I hope he did too. I hope he did too. But I mean, it just falls in line with the way that when they get politics involved with religion, like it is like in North Carolina, you get some guy who claims to be a black Nazi and going, and also religious at the same time. You
Right.
know what I mean? So where's the boundary? Where you this is supposed to be literally the Bible Belt down there.
Yes.
You right? But it's so wishy-washy,
Mhm.
that you don't know what's right and what's wrong.
Right.
You don't know a lie from truth anymore because you all so wishy-washy down there.
Yeah.
Because you all want what you all want so bad, or racist. I don't know what's going on.
It's those who know the truth need to speak up louder. You
That's
know what I'm
that's
saying?
definitely that's
They need to
definitely
speak
true.
up louder. They need to, you know, combat all the mess, you know, just like what we do here. You
Mhm.
know, I mean, I know there are those down there that do that. They just need to keep pushing it. You know, I know that that's easier said than done because usually loudmouths like that are the ones that they're going to get the TV cameras,
Right, right,
you
right,
know,
right.
and that's the last thing that's needed. I understand that we understand that you know a lot of TV and stuff like that. It's going to go for ratings,
Hmm.
just like Trump loving his crowd size because they're entertainers. They want to entertain.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you should also try to bring truth within it.
Yeah.
So that's the hope.
Yeah, we hope.
That's all we can hold on to. But
Yeah. Well, they do like the entertainment. You see him trying to hug the imaginary billboard, or he said he loves this chart or something. He was going to the.
oh, I heard
I
about
was
that.
like, what's wrong
I
with this
didn't
guy?
I didn't I didn't see it. I'm not gonna
This
lie.
guy's an idiot.
I heard about
President of the
it.
United States walking across the stage hugging an imaginary billboard. Hey, that's that's
Yeah, that's
that's
real.
America
That's
right
real
there.
special. Real special. And I ain't talking about in a good way, y'all. But look, y'all, check it out. We want y'all to keep this conversation going. All right. Um, you can always go under this live and keep the conversation going, keep it pushing. Always, you can always share the broadcast as well. All right, from YouTube or from Facebook or whatever you do. All right. And also, you got any comments about it? You don't want to get on that live, or excuse me, get on the live. Excuse me. Then always, what you can do is email us at the triple threat of radio. Once again, all one word, the triple threat of radio at gmail.com. Any last words, bro?
Um, hmm. Any last words? Well, I just, I'm definitely looking forward to voting. I didn't think I was going to be looking forward to voting so much when I first, when I first, when this year first started. Especially when Biden was in. But now I'm looking forward to voting for Kamala Harris. Not that I think that she's going to be the save all for this country, but I think that she would at least give us a chance, right? I talked to a lot of people who would vote Trump in because they think that he would, turn over the apple cart, and they think that starting from scratch would be a better situation. And I'm thinking, like, um, man, you might not come back from a destroyed country like that. You know what I mean? It might be 100 years before you get a democracy if you try to, you know, just wreck the whole society.
I understand.
You
I
know what I mean?
understand. Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
Yeah.
And real quick, just like you know, I was not looking to vote for Biden or Trump. Technically, I'm gonna keep it very real. It was gonna be Dr. Cornel West. That's who it was gonna be. But once I found out about this Project 2025, I'm like, there's no way in the world.
Yeah, you
You,
can't.
you
Yeah.
you gotta combat something like that. And folks, once again, it is real. I still hear people out here talking about, oh no, 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 and trying to deny it. It is not fake. This is real. You know what I'm saying? And then you have to use your power to vote. So please, folks, yes, we have to build for a change after this election to get more things in a better way for us all. But right now, we have to get things set on the how they say set on the good foot.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And so that's what we got to start trying to do. All right.
Yeah.
I am your boy Abdul Rashid. This is Mr. Timothy Evans. We
Right.
are Elevated Vibes. We will catch y'all next week.
Peace.
Peace.